He stole an old woman's last coin, thinking nothing would happen. But her tears awakened the curse that exposed every secret he ever hid. This is the story of Madu, the sweet-tongued petty thief. A long time ago, in the village of Aloma, every household knew Madu, the man with the sweetest tongue in the entire village. If you ask the elders, they will say his mouth dripped honey. If you asked the women, they will say he could convince a stone to follow him home. The children adored him too, always giggling whenever he cracked one of his mischievous jokes or performed his playful dance steps. But behind the charming smile and the smooth conversations lay a truth no one suspected, a darkness well hidden beneath laughter. Madu was lazy, so lazy that even the village ghosts were said to work harder than he did. His men went to the farm before sunrise, carrying hoes on their shoulders, ready to till the land. Madu, on the other hand, preferred stretching on a mat under the mango tree, whistling, eating whatever he could find, and sleeping the rest of the day away. His mother, Mama Ugo, had shouted herself once year after year. Madu, get up! Your mess are already in the farm. Do you want to be useless forever? Mama, he would reply, flashing his irresistible smile. Why stress when the world is already sweet like sugar? But laziness wasn't his only problem. Madu had a sticky hand. He was a petty thief. He stole small things, nothing too big, nothing too dangerous, always petty. A missing hen here, a handful of coins there, a calabash of palm wine, even cassava tubers if nobody was watching. It had started as a childish habit, but now that he was nearly a man, it had become a part of him. What made it even worse was that he was clever. Clever enough that no one ever suspected him. Whenever a hen disappeared, Madu would help search for it, shouting the loudest, "Who is stealing in this village again? We will surely catch him today." If someone misplaced money, he would comfort them. "Don't cry, my friend. Maybe you dropped it somewhere. Check your pocket again." His charm shielded him like a cloak. The villagers trusted him. He was even nicknamed Madu, the jolly good fellow. In the village also lived an old woman named Obedia. She lived alone in a tiny mud hut at the outskirts of the village. Her children were grown and lived far away and hardly visited. And her husband had been dead for over 20 years. Obedia survived by selling some of her farm produce, keeping the little she earned inside a small clay pot under her bed. One hot afternoon, when most villagers were in their farms, hunger pushed Madu to wander near her house. He had not eaten breakfast. His mother had not given him food that morning because she was growing tired of his laziness. When he reached Obedia's hut, he noticed the old woman was nowhere around. "Let me check if she has something small," he muttered. He slipped inside the hut quietly, like a lizard. His eyes roamed until they fell on the clay pot. He lifted it, shook it gently, and heard the clinking of coins. "This is good," he whispered. He knew it was wrong. He knew it was wicked. But hunger and laziness had a stronger voice than conscience. Madu took the money to the last kobo and slipped out before anyone passed by. That evening, when Obedia returned and realized her savings were gone, her wealth spread through the entire village. People gathered around her, shocked. "That was the only money I had left," she cried. Whoever stole it, if whoever stole it doesn't return it, he will face the consequences. Her voice trembled with genuine pain. She didn't issue the words as a mere threat. It was an old woman's heartfelt curse, released into the world like an arrow shot from a bow. The villagers tried to comfort her, but no one suspected Madu. He even knelt beside her dramatically, patting her back. "Mama, don't worry," he said soothingly. "The thief will return your money. The gods are watching." She looked at him closely, her old eyes sharp, but she said nothing. Instead, she kept laying curses on whoever stole her money. But Madu dismissed her curses. "What can that old woman do?" he said to himself. He laughed it off, ate a big meal that night using the stolen money, and then slept with a satisfied belly. But what Madu didn't know was that the old woman's words carried weight he was about to feel. The consequences were already on their way. Several weeks after he stole the old woman's money and had completely forgotten about it, life was as it had always been. That day, a group of young men were repairing Mazi Udoka's broken fence. "You people are not laying it well," he said confidently. One of the men, Obinna, laughed. "Madu, go and do your own work before correcting others." Everyone laughed. As they walked, Obinna suddenly realized his knife, a small but sharp tool he used for peeling bamboo, was missing. He frowned. "I'm very sure I kept it here," he murmured. He searched the ground, then the toolbox, then the fence area. But it was not there. Madu joined in the search, whistling casually. "My friend, check well. Maybe a goat carried it," he joked. But when they still couldn't find it, Emeka suggested that everyone should be checked. When it was Madu's turn, he handed his bag confidently. Emeka reached inside the bag and brought out the knife. The laughter died immediately. Obinna's eyes widened. "Madu, how did my knife enter your bag?" Madu's mouth fell open. "What? That's impossible. I didn't." "Emeka, check again. Maybe it's not the same knife." But it was the same knife. Everyone recognized the carved handle. A heavy silence fell. For the first time, suspicion hovered around Madu like a shadow. "I didn't take it," he insisted, panic rising in his voice. "I didn't touch it, I swear. I was here. Everyone saw me. I didn't go near to where he kept his bag. I didn't take it." But the young men exchanged looks. Doubt was written clearly on their faces. "Madu," Obinna said slowly, "things had been missing in this village for a long time. Could it be—" "Don't say that," Madu snapped, fear rising in his chest. Obinna didn't. He didn't need to. Everyone understood. That evening, whispers spread around the village. Maybe he has been the thief all along. But Madu? No now. Or could it even be true? When Madu returned home, the laughter that usually followed him felt faint. His stomach twisted. For the first time in his life, he felt the bite of fear. But that was only the beginning. 2 days later, he visited Mama Ijoma's shop. She sold hot puff-puff every morning. As usual, Madus retalked his way into getting 2 extra pieces. "Mama, God bless your hands," he flattered. "You make the best puff-puff in the whole world." She laughed. "It's only your mouth that works, Madu." If you used your hands as much as you use your tongue, you would be a millionaire. As she turned to serve another customer, someone shouted from behind the wooden store, "Where is my money? I kept it here just now." It was another customer, Chika. She had left a small purse on the table beside her. Now it was gone. People gathered. Accusations flew. Chika's face turned red with frustration. Who came near the table? Madu turned to leave, only for something to fall from under his shirt and land on the ground with a thud. It was Chika's purse. A gasp rippled through the crowd. Madu, not again! So he's really the one. Madu stared at the purse as though it were a snake that had crawled onto his body. His voice trembled. I don't know how it got there. I didn't take it. I swear on my life, I didn't touch it. But the villagers were no longer smiling. Their eyes held suspicion, disappointment, and anger. Madu, leave my store, Mama Ijoma said coldly, folding her arms. Before now, you were the one comforting others when something got missing. Meanwhile, you were the thief. No, I'm telling the truth. But no one believed him. That night, Madu couldn't sleep. Sweat soaked his clothes despite the cold breeze. He kept hearing voices in his head. He didn't understand what was happening to him. What is happening to me? Why are things appearing on me? This has never happened before. What is wrong? He couldn't sleep. His mind was deeply troubled. One morning, he woke to the sound of Mazi Okeke shouting that his goat was missing. The goat he had fed just the night before. The villagers were tired of all the stealings happening in the community, so they decided to search every house. When they reached Mado's compound, they heard a goat bleating. Everyone turned to stare at Madu because they knew he didn't have any goats. Mado's heart started racing. The missing goat was tied behind his house. The entire crowd roared in outrage. Tie him to a tree and flog him. I'm not a thief, Madu screamed, his voice breaking with desperation. Something strange is happening to me. I don't know how these things are appearing. But no one wanted to hear excuses. By the time they finished with him, his back burned with welts. His face was swollen. They released him only after threatening to banish him if he continued. As he limped home, angry stares followed him. These strange occurrences continued to happen. In fact, whenever anything went missing, the first place they checked was Madu or his house. And they always found whatever was missing there. Sometimes it was goats, yams, palm wine, palm oil, things you would never imagine someone could steal. The day the villagers found Mama Oke's basket of coconuts, the ones she wanted to take to the market, in Mado's house, they were furious. They forced him to carry the coconut and walk around the whole village while they flogged him and sang songs calling him a thief. Madu felt deep shame. He had no dignity left, no pride at all in the village. That night, fever burned through his body. He tossed and turned. His clothes soaked with sweat, and his head throbbed. His mind was full of heavy thoughts. He didn't know what else to do. He had no friends left, and nobody wanted to associate with him anymore. Eventually, he fell asleep. In his dream, he saw Obedia looking at him with a mixture of pity and disgust. Her wrapper fluttered even though there was no wind. Her eyes glowed a strange, sorrowful light. Madu, she said, her voice barely above whisper. You took what I needed to survive. You swallowed my tears and mocked my suffering. He tried to speak, but no sound came out. Accusations will keep following you until you fix what you broke. He woke up with a scream, heart pounding, drenched in sweat. He realized that the only way to be free was to see Obedia. As soon as dawn came, he set out for her hut. As he walked, memories flooded him. Memories of the hens he stole and roasted behind people's farms. Memories of the money he picked from clay pots. Memories of the lies, the smiles, the charm he used to cover guilt. He winced. "I thought I was clever," he muttered bitterly. "I thought nobody would ever find out." But now, his cleverness had turned to poison. Even the wind felt like it whispered his shame. "Thief! Thief!" He shook his head, trying to clear the voices, but the guilt would not leave. Madu stopped in front of the hut. His throat tightened. What could he possibly say? How could he begin to apologize? He took a deep breath and knocked. A shaky voice told him to come in. It felt as if the old woman had been waiting for him. Madu fell to his knees instantly. "Mama, please forgive me. I was the one who took your money." Her expression didn't change. Tears spilled down Madu's cheeks. He bowed his head until he touched the ground. "Forgive me," he sobbed. "Things have been happening to me. I'm suffering. Please, Mama, I beg you, please forgive me." The old woman was silent for a long moment. Then she sighed and spoke softly. "Madu, the money you stole that day was the only thing I had. Your theft broke not just my savings, but my spirit. I had nothing left, nothing." Her voice trembled slightly, though she remained firm. "You thought it was small. You thought your smile would cover you forever. But you forgot that when a poor person cries from the depths of their soul, heaven listens." Madu continued crying. "I know, Mama. I know now. I have paid for it. Everywhere I go, things appear on me. People beat me, curse me. I cannot escape it. I'm tired. Please forgive me." The old woman nodded slowly. "I know," she said. "I warned that whoever stole my money would face consequences, and the spirit heard me." Madu continued begging in tears. She looked into his swollen eyes. "The curse can be broken," she said quietly, "but not by apologizing to me alone." Madu lifted his head slightly, sniffing. "You must apologize to everyone you stole from," she said. "Everyone, no matter how small the thing was. You must face them one by one and confess." His stomach twisted. "But Mama, the whole village, there are too many." She shook her head. "Then your suffering will continue." Her words were final. The judgment was clear. Madu bowed again, tears dripping into the red earth. "I will do it," he whispered. "I will confess to all of them." With the help of the town crier, he assembled the entire village to the village square. He apologized to everyone and admitted that he had been stealing from them long before anyone suspected. One by one, he named the villagers and confessed what he had taken from each of them, all the while he had been pretending to help find the thief. In reality, he was the thief all along. The villagers murmured among themselves. Some were surprised, some skeptical, but most could see that he had truly changed. Finally, one of the elders, Mazi Udoka stepped forward and said, Madu, you have admitted your wrongs openly. Now, let your actions prove that your heart has changed. Madu bowed deeply, tears in his eyes. I swear, I will never steal again. I will work hard and be honest. I have learned my lesson. After his confession, the curse was lifted. The strange occurrences stopped. No coins mysteriously appeared. No items showed up in his pockets. The villagers no longer avoided him. Children waved. The women smiled at him. Even the elders nodded as he passed by. Now, he woke up early and joined others in the farm. His hands, once soft and idle from laziness, now dug, planted and tilled with energy. When he spoke, it was no longer to charm or deceive, but to encourage others and share the hard lessons he had learned. Madu had transformed, not overnight, but through trial, humility, and facing the consequences of his actions. He was no longer the village thief, but a man everyone could rely on, not for sweet words, but for his honesty, hard work, and integrity.